Hello and welcome to New Hampshire. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53 and I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for super late models at New Hampshire as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 2 Week 5 official series. If you guys can, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm really just a small time racer here in real life. Got about a 7,500 I rating. I've been on iRacing for 12 years, but everything you guys can do to help us out with a subscription, with a like, with the view, it does a ton to help out. I've mentioned in a lot of videos, and I talked about it in the late model stock. My daughter wants to start racing this summer, and we only have so much money. So I think this summer I'm probably going to be parking my car for most of it, unless some big sponsor pops up out of the woodwork somewhere and wants to help us go racing. But I think it's more important to let her chase after some fun and be there for her. So that's what we're going to do. But it doesn't stop the work that we're doing here on iRacing. We definitely want to keep pushing. We definitely want to keep sending out videos, working on content. If you guys can too, head over to our Discord. It's linked in the description below. We have our 500 subscriber giveaway that I'm going to start this week. So we'll be doing lots of fun stuff with that, which should be really, really cool. But let's kind of hop in here to New Hampshire. And we're going to talk about kind of some weird stuff that you're going to do this week, which depending on how competitive you want to get. So the big thing with New Hampshire is it's a mile long track, right? Just slightly over a mile, 1.06. It says up in the upper left hand corner. I think it might be covered up for you guys, but the big thing here is getting heat in the tires. And it's really going to take until lap 2 for you guys to get your optimal heat. But the problem that you're going to run into is that with the track temp and with the ambient temp, the car's going to overheat starting exit of 3 and 4 if we're not doing some other things. So we're going to walk through those right now. While we're doing that, you guys see this big old Impel Motorsports logo on the back of the car. You guys have sold them out of a Moza product for the second time in 2 months, which is amazing, and let's kind of keep that up. I myself use a Moza R9 steering wheel, one of the best wheels I think on the market for the value. Um, so head over there, impelmotorsports.com, grab your Moza products. They have real race car parts as well. So we're going to head down the backstretch here and we're going to get it up. If you're using the Team 53 custom set, it's a third gear set for both qualifying and race. So we'll get her up to speed and now you see me clutching it. So this is kind of an eNASCAR trick that they'll use in open sets for some of these tracks. They'll engage the clutch, which doesn't trigger iRacing's speed up warning. It'll just get you a little bit of time here to where you can cool that engine. So I clutch it knowing my lap 1 is going to be a throwaway lap to middle of the corner. We get up off. I'll use a little bit of throttle just to get up to speed and get some heat in the tires from center exit. And then here's where going into 1, I'll clutch it. Just drive it up here towards the top, and then once we get to the center of the corner, I'll give it some throttle and drive up off and get ready here for my fast lap on lap 2. If you guys don't have a clutch, you can still make it happen on lap 2. It's just, this was a difference literally of a tenth of a second of just clutching it and having a little bit better, a little more engine power for lap 2, specifically center exit and down this straightaway. So we go down the front stretch here. As you're in the cockpit, you know, you're up really close to the wall. It feels like there's like this little seam that runs down the track. You can kind of see there. I just kind of line that up with my hood. My hood, you know, some of these things and the rivets. And I just kind of knew where I needed to be. So I was up nice and tight up against the wall. We go down the front stretch, and then we're going to start to turn in here at about where the Mohegan Sun is on the inside of the track, just past the 3 bar. We're going to lift at the 2, apply some brake to set that nose. Now I'm going to drive this car in kind of like I would at Stafford, where I'm going to drive it in and I'm going to treat this bottom lane here as the apron. So fun fact, back in the day, this bottom lane used to be the apron. It's pretty much flat in this bottom lane, slightly banked here, slightly more banked up here. So the big thing is if you're going to use this bottom lane, it's going to de-wedge the car and it'll help you rotate. And you can use that at different points to get the car to do what you want. So we bring it in here and we're going to sink that left front down just over that dash line. I'm basically straddling that as we're going over it. See it there? Now you see me, it's coming right underneath me. You get that car straightened out and you're just driving it around this corner. It's going to drift up a little bit in the center, which exactly like Stafford. Um, exactly what you want. Have it drift up. It'll catch. You'll throttle up all the way. So partial throttle on this pretty much at like this set, before this set of dash lines here, before NASCAR salutes. You'll grab it. You'll power up off. We didn't catch the wall there. And then we get ready here for turn 3. So we go past the 3 board, start to turn in at the 2 board. We're going to lift and brake just before the 1 board. We'll bring the car in, and I'm just kind of floating here. Same story as 1 and 2. This bottom lane used to be the apron, so we run up a lane. Just kind of straddle that like you would Stafford turns 3 and 4. And then you power up off, and you drive down the front stretch. And there is a 29.018. I have no doubt there's a 28.9 in this setup. Um, you know, few tweaks, a little bit better driving, probably a 28.8. So let's go in car for you. Just a reminder, I've got triple monitors, so you guys are just seeing the center screen. The left screen for me, the window net, is right where it is in my real car. So here we go. And there we are with the 018. So race times are going to be about maybe 4/10 slower, half-tenth slower. You just have so much fuel. We got to carry about 20 gallons of fuel to get through a 60-lap race here. So you're pretty much full on fuel. Draft is going to play a big part. And then the other big part of this race here at New Hampshire is just going to be timing your passes. So we'll see, like when Sarah Super Series runs here, um, you'll see like a lot of guys will take it 2 and 3 wide, and we'll go all the way down, all the way down almost to the apron here to pass going into 1. And you just got to do kind of what you got to do. So arc it down, power up off. Exit at 2 is a really good passing zone where if guys start to lose that rear end or they start to push a little bit tight there, if you've timed your run just right, you can get underneath them or get it set up to get underneath them down here on the backstretch and then dive underneath them. But the big thing you have to worry about, right, is if you're trying to pass to the inside, this guy on the outside, if he's got a draft from the car in front of him, you really got to stay in behind him probably until about the 4 board here on the backstretch, and then you can pull out and kind of make your move here for turn 3. But if you do it too soon, they're just going to pull the draft on you and drive right back past you, and you'll lose that momentum that you had. Kind of the same deal on the front stretch as you want to ride behind, and then about the 4 board is where you can really afford to pull out. Um, Team 53 members, I've also probably geared this car a little conservatively. I think you might want to look at going up 1 number, so going to like a smaller number. Just 1 click, maybe 2 for race trim, especially if you know you're going to be back in a pack. I think it might be chipping out just a tick too soon, but it should have really good long run pace. So that's kind of something too that you have to think about here is how the car is going to feel and drive in the draft. And we'll kind of, the biggest thing there is you got to remember you're going to pick up horsepower on the straightaway. So you might be able to change your gear a little bit and get better pull down the straight than what you get in a single car run. which is something that I think a lot of people forget about, especially when they first start building. But it should be a fun week here at New Hampshire. We're always happy to hear how you guys did. Leave us a comment, hop in the Discord, 500 subscriber giveaway, and we're doing all of our Team 53 setup passes and telemetry pack for ARCA, all of that stuff, 25% off this week. So head over to Team 53's Discord, sign up through PayPal to get the discount, and we will see you guys in the next video.